Sonia Citron. She's going to have to take over primary playmaking duties in the absence of Olivia Miles, and she sure stepped up to that challenge in the second half against Louisville. She had 27 in that ball game. But now she is going to be the primary focal point of every defensive scouting report. So finding ways to score, to get others involved. And oh, by the way, she's always guarding the opponent's best player.
And in the last 4 games, she is averaging 17 points per game. They will need that today and as they progress in the postseason. NC State is without star guard Diamond Johnson, but they have other pieces, Angel Gray.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a balancing act for the Wolfpack this season, and they've shown that they are at their best when it is done by committee. They have had everyone on their roster score in double figures in one game, as well as 9 different players leading the team in scoring as well. That doesn't stop here in the tournament. They had 5 players score in double figures, and I was told that for those 5 players, those were career high in this tournament, including Jakia Brown-Turner, who said she struggled in previous games. During this time, she said, I needed the game, and I look to build on it today.
Yes, Angel, in that game we saw yesterday, probably the Pack's most complete game since their win in Iowa City way back in early December.
Yeah, it really was. It was a team that shared the basketball, that dominated the interior, that executed defensively, played consistent for 40 minutes.
So we are underway. The Wolfpack in their black uniforms, and Westbeld got a piece of Brown-Turner to start things off. KK Bransford, the freshman guard, starting in place of Olivia Miles. As we look at NC State starting 5, JBT, as I. James, has been really good as of late. So much on Sanaya Rivers' shoulders, though, as the primary ball handler with Johnson out. And there is Diamond Johnson. She tried to give it a go, playing on that bad right ankle, and got it in a boot. We're not going to see her this weekend either. We have the week between the ACC and the NCAA tournament, and I'm sure that everyone around the country hoping that players can use that rest to their advantage. And the starting lineup for Notre Dame, as mentioned, Bransford in for Miles. And Citron gets it going early.
I'm not sure how that would went in. It looked like it hit the bottom of the rim and bounced in. But I like that action for Sonia Citron, giving it up and getting it back on the elbow. Notre Dame's so good at playing off of those elbows.
Albie missing. And here's Citron bringing it up. Such a talent, just a sophomore herself. First team All-ACC this year, along with her teammate and good friend Olivia Miles.
This is a really good matchup for Notre Dame to start out without Olivia Miles, because Wolfpack, not a team that's going to pressure you 94 feet. They're not going to turn you over a lot, be in passing lanes. So Notre Dame can have an opportunity to get into a flow.
It's a traveling call, as you see Dara Mabry along with Olivia Miles. And this is that shot you talked about. A little bit of magic. James with the hobby screen, a little bit too strong. Citron is also a very good rebounding guard. Comes up with it for the Irish. Those two teams met only once in the regular season. Notre Dame won at a sold-out Reynolds Coliseum.
You see a little confusion offensively for Notre Dame. Not quite sure what they're running.
They need the shot from Citron, and they banked in.
Sonia Citron, she's so steady, and she's so fundamental. Off the glass, that angle. You don't see a lot of young players use the glass
and I know
anymore.
You love that.
I love it.
Sanaya Rivers knocks down the shot. Coming off a very good all-around game in their win yesterday against Syracuse. First game for Notre Dame. The top 4 seeds had double byes and didn't play until today. Westbeld bottled up by 3 players. James tied her up. She thought she had the steal and the breakaway.
Citron just does such a good job of getting her defender on her hip. Eyes are up. She finds the corner of the glass.
All 4 points for Notre Dame so far. Ball on the floor. And here's the takeaway now for James. One-on-one against Citron, who played good defense, but James was able to score anyway. Nia James, 10 points and 5 assists yesterday against Syracuse. Rivers ran into the Evo screen.
Nia James has been impressive, and she's a player who didn't get a lot of minutes early in the season, and because of injury and opportunity that she's taken advantage of, she's now starting in a lead guard position. That's a tough angle to go off glass.
Rivers called for the foul in the last play. Prosper, too strong off the glass after she rid herself of the defender. Prosper, a true freshman with great promise from Montreal. Here's Citron, 3-on-2. You can take it all the way.
Why not? Nobody's in front of you. You see an open lane, get the easy two.
So right now it's NC State 6, Sonia Citron 6.
You know, I'd be talking to us at the end of the season about Sonia Citron and just how unselfish she is, that sometimes she has to remind her to take shots, and now a lot riding on her shoulders. She has to really hunt shots and opportunities.
Prosper finally got one to go after a couple more misses in the paint. Prosper, like Olivia Miles, an early enrollee to Notre Dame, the first two in Irish history. She's 17. Bobby, good pass to find her, and she got the spin.
I still think that NC State, their advantage is on the interior. Really getting easy looks at the rim, getting post touches. Not because you have to shoot it, but they also are very good facilitators from that low block position. Put pressure on the defense.
Citron goes in and is called for the charge.
Sonia Citron trying to get to the rim. Jada Boyd does an outstanding job of establishing herself outside the restricted area and taking the charge.
Terrific play by Boyd, the veteran from Petersburg, Virginia. That's the first one on Sonia Citron. Needless to say, she can't get into foul trouble today.
Really, no one on the Irish could get into foul trouble. Their lack of depth is evident. You know, they're going to play this zone, so that can help. But rotations and then rebounding out of the zone is going to be important.
Ball movement. Rivers got a good look. Westbeld able to come up with it. Prosper waits for some help. Tried to get it inside to Watson. And Madison Hayes, she played a really nice game yesterday against Syracuse. 30 minutes off the bench, 10 points, a couple of threes, look good.
Maddie Hayes, another player who's taken advantage of opportunity. She can come in and give this team a lift. She's an excellent defender. You see she's getting the call to guard Sonia Citron.
Good help defense by Boyd. Westbeld left open. James directing traffic after picking up her dribble. Shot clock now into single digits. James with the floater that goes in.
Isn't it always when a lefty shoots it just looks so pretty?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a tough shot. A floater on the baseline side that Nia James put in.
And down 4, yes, Citron with a chance at a three-point play.
Speaking of tough shots and tough angles, Sonia Citron continues to get to the rim, able to get it up off glass. She's got the chance for the and one when we come back.
The Ally ACC Women's Tournament is brought to you by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. ACC quarterfinal Friday. Sonia Citron off to a blazing start. She has not missed a shot, Steph White.
Yeah, 4 for 4 from the floor, 8 of Notre Dame's 10 points. Just going to have to get production from multiple people, and that's one thing that Niele Ivey talked about in the absence of Dara Mabry when she went down with her knee injury, was that I asked everybody to give me 10% more. Now without Olivia Miles on the floor, they're going to have to give another 10%. Everybody's going to have to step up. Everybody's going to have to contribute.
And there you see Dara Mabry over there with the crutches. She has an ACL, and right next to her is Olivia Miles. Citron does complete the three-point play. And that's a lot of production sitting over there. Production, leadership, just steadiness. Mabry with that jersey personality, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you see their numbers, and look at what they're missing: scoring, rebounding, assists. I mean, Dara Mabry had 301 threes in her career, so somebody that stretches the floor.
Rivers now with 4. Yeah, the Mabry sisters, 3 of them went through Notre Dame.
803 threes between the 3 of them. They could shoot the lights out.
That's a lot or something, yes. And Sister Michaela, an assistant coach under Niele Ivey, who played for Muffet McGraw, won a national championship with her in 01. I believe they beat Purdue. And Niele won one as an assistant coach, and you're looking at the ACC Coach of the Year.
Well, what an outstanding job Niele has done with this team. She's been a part of this program and the great tradition with Notre Dame women's basketball. She understands what it takes, of course, working with a mentor in Muffet McGraw and just continuing to build on what they've accomplished.
The Song of Prosper, after the turnover, buries it, and we'll head to the free throw line. Isaiah James called for it. And there is Muffet McGraw, our colleague, who doing such a great job with the rest of our crew over there. And saw her earlier today, said she misses head coaching 0%. She loves what she's doing. The stress is down, and the pride certainly. And Niele Ivey, not just as a head coach, but as a human being.
Yeah.
Her wonderful son Jaden, now in the NBA. And what a way to come back after they didn't make the tournament.
Yeah, no question. You know, it's not rebuilding really. It's reloading. But Niele Ivey putting her own stamp on this program and continuing the legacy. Look, it's not easy to follow a legend. It's certainly not. We've seen a lot of times where it's very, very difficult, and Niele Ivey has just continued to take this program and to continue to elevate it.
Saying always go, you want to be the person who follows the legend. Have a little in there, because it's tough. And that is a charge. Jenna Brown, the Stanford grad transfer.
This is what River Baldwin does. She is one of the best bigs at taking charges in the country that I've ever seen. She gets herself in position. I mean, there aren't a lot of, you see a lot of guards that are in position to take charges, but bigs, and River Baldwin takes pride in that.
Baldwin was great yesterday against Syracuse. In fact, didn't miss a shot. 14 points, hit all 7 shots, 7 rebounds in less than 20 minutes. One of her best games of the season. Off the inbounds, won't go for James. There's Baldwin, but she brought the ball down. Rivers. James, a little ball fake. And then got it in off glass.
Yeah, that time used the glass.
Just telling the crowd to get into it, as you might expect. This is home court advantage for NC State. Raleigh area, about an hour away from Greensboro. Ebo stuffed by Baldwin.
Isaiah James is so good at this little ball fake on her drives. Look, you just think she's gonna kick it out for the 3. And then River Baldwin again making her presence known, this time on the defensive end of the floor.
13 15 seconds to shoot for the Irish. Approaching a minute to go in the first quarter, and that's thrown in the opposite direction of where Prosper was heading. 6 turnovers for the Irish, uncharacteristic. But missing Olivia Miles. Brown in there now. She's the one who came in and played the remainder of the second quarter when Olivia went down in Louisville last week. Rivers, terrific bounce pass to the cutting Isaiah James, and they're in sync.
The energy that Isaiah James brings to this Wolfpack team, it's huge. It's an intangible that matters, that makes a difference to your teammates.
Another offensive foul on Brown, drawn by
River Baldwin. But execution against the zone, moving without the basketball. Look at that dime by Sanaya Rivers, and the float game on point for Isaiah James.
So 2 charges on Jenna Brown, both of them drawn by River Baldwin. So Jenna Brown now has exited. Shot clock is off now for the Pack. Got Evo up in the air, then lost it, and that's not good clock awareness by Bransford. A little bit more time. That reminds me of the Hamby heave back in the WNBA, but with Hamby it went in.
It went in, yes, yes it did.
And Vegas beat Chicago a few years ago. Now we need a heave. Good first quarter for NC State as they have an 18-14 lead. When we come back, we'll have more on the Ivy making history.
Welcome back to Greensboro. We've got a great one on our hands. Wolfpack with a 4-point edge over Notre Dame after the first quarter. And when it comes to making history, Neil Ivy has become the queen at it. When she went back to her alma mater to take the job, she became the first African-American female to be the head coach at her school, and just recently became the first African-American female to win a regular season ACC title and Coach of the Year in the ACC. This is a perfect example of if you see her, you can be her. She said she's humbled, that she can be an example to her players and all the women looking up to her. I know that Coach Muffet McGraw was a huge inspiration for her as well, but I just say you got to crown her, and she's doing an incredible job.
Yeah, she really is. And you know, Neil Ivy was a part of the first national championship team at Notre Dame in 2001, winning it in her hometown of St. Louis. She's been this longtime assistant on Muffet McGraw's staff. Went with the Memphis Grizzlies for that year, came back, and you know, she has just been the epitome of excellence since she was a player.
Also the first black head coach to win Coach of the Year and a regular season title in women's basketball in the ACC. Notre Dame with a big win against Louisville to win the regular season and get the #1 seed in this tournament. She was just a tremendous player. Great teams at Ruth Riley and the rest, and they won the title. That doesn't count. She was at Notre Dame for quite a while, as you mentioned, after being at Xavier, and then the 1 year with the Grizzlies, and came home again to take over when Muffet retired. That is the 4th offensive foul called on the Irish. That one on Ebo. Citron on the floor, got rid of it in the nick of time. But then James stepped in the way, couldn't convert.
And you look at the lineup that's on the floor for Notre Dame, and you know, you lose Dara Mabry, you lose Olivia Miles, so you've got a whole bunch of forwards on the floor that have to be ball handlers. 9 turnovers already in this ball game. You know, finding a way to get themselves into a rhythm offensively. take care of the basketball, get high percentage looks. That's going to be important, not just for this ACC tournament, but for the NCAA tournament. It's just timing and how quickly the ball moves when your point guards are on the floor. Right now, it's not moving quickly.
Westbeld with the turnaround, rebound for Collins.
You know, one of the things I think that Notre Dame can also look for is KK Bransford. They give her the ball in the elbow. They ISO her. They allow her to go to work. She hasn't gotten a touch there here today. I think that's another way to find opportunities to get scores.
Yeah, Bransford has not taken a shot for the Irish. Citron with Evo, who missed some time with a lower body injury. Probably not a great shot.
But one of the best things that Olivia Miles does on the floor is get easy shots for her teammates. She makes their life easier because of how she breaks down defense, because of how she delivers a ball to a shooter in a shooter's pocket, a shooter's pass every time. So right now, this team is having to individually manufacture shot opportunities, and it's tough.
Miles again out indefinitely with the right knee injury. Mabry out since late January with her own knee injury, and another one and done.
And give NC State credit. They are forcing Notre Dame post players to take contested jump shots. They are executing the defensive game plan.
And meanwhile, they're not making shots either. Neither team has scored in the first 3 minutes of this quarter. Westbeld.
So that's 3 straight possessions where it's 1 pass and a shot. You're not used to seeing that from the Irish. But this is that growth period for them to figure out how to play without Miles.
They're going to have to figure it out. Rivers guarded by Evo. Good defense.
This is a terrific defensive effort by Lauren Evo. Stays straight up, vertical, stays connected. That's disciplined one-on-one defense.
Evo came in second in the ACC 6th Player of the Year voting to Michaela Timpson at Florida State. Kia Brown-Turner.
Another great defensive effort by Prosper.
These two teams are combined 0 for 11 here in the second quarter. Prosper and Bransford, 2 true freshmen on the floor. And Prosper should be in her 2nd semester of her senior year in high school. That's how young she is. And another empty possession for the Irish. Brown-Turner with the shot clock into single digits. Westbeld, excuse me, with the play. Prosper can't finish, but who else? Citron there, and we finally have a basket in the second quarter. Citron into double figures. Slices the lead to 2. Winner gets Louisville tomorrow in the semis.
Nice.
In stereo.
We were in sync, yes. What a pass. And this is what NC State did so well yesterday, their interior passing. Getting the ball in that soft spot of the zone, the ACC logo, and finding the right pass.
That one was to Boyd, and then it works on the other end as Watson found Bransford. First bucket for KK.
And KK Bransford's going to have to be a part of this offensively. She's going to have to be an initiator, a facilitator. And she's very versatile offensively, get her touches in different positions.
Good double team, so State had to kick it back out. James, short. Good box out by Watson, the Oregon transfer, her first year in South Bend. Transfer bottled up by Hobby. JBT, a little bit too strong. Westbeld, the only player under there for the rebound.
I'm not sure that NC State's gotten a ball reversal. Getting it sometimes to the high post position, but they haven't really forced the Notre Dame zone to shift with multiple passes.
Transferred over Brown Turner. Prosper could not save it. NC State with a 1-point lead here in scenic Greensboro, North Carolina.
They've been waiting since 1991. The Pack is back on top.
This season has been nothing but crazy. One thing's going to be consistent, that NC State is ACC champions.
For the third year in a row, ACC champions.
That's called a three-peat, Callie. All right.
Welcome back, NC State. Yes, with Westmore have won 3 straight ACC tournament titles coming in to this tournament. And they are the 8th seed. And Westmore doing such a great job, but a huge turnover as far as personnel this year. Trying to fit these new pieces in with a couple of veterans like Boyd and Brown Turner. Boyd scores. This is Notre Dame. They have 5 tournament titles. They had the first 4 as soon as they came into the league. But the school that has the most ACC tournament titles isn't even in the league anymore. That would be Maryland.
Conference relocation.
Yep. And then they went to the Big Ten and made some noise.
That is true. Changed the way the Big Ten played.
Yeah. And now it's one of the best. This game, as you can tell by the score, is not setting any offensive records. Neither team has hit a 3-point shot. Combined 0 for 10.
Those aren't the records we want.
No. Prosper got in there. Boyd thought it went off of Prosper. So does Westmore. Tiara Cruz hearing an earful from Wes, Rod Creech and Talisa Green, our other officials this afternoon. But a little concern now. That is Nat Marshall as Niele Ivey comes over to check on her.
Oh yeah, looks like Prosper and Marshall collided. Prosper got her with her elbow.
Natalia Marshall, junior from Queens, New York, went to Christ the King High School. It's produced some pretty good players.
Yeah, just a few.
Yeah. Might have heard of Sue Bird,
Tina Holtzclaw. Yeah, a lot of them.
Those guys. Citron blocked by Boyd. Citron with 11 of Notre Dame's 18 points, also has 7 rebounds. Westbeld off the inbounds.
Maddie Westbeld's one of the players for Notre Dame that's going to have to step up. You know, she's a player who a year ago averaged 12 points a game, is down just a little bit this year, but has been a little up and down. And I think the Irish need her to step up and be an offensive presence. And
With that bucket, Maddie Westbeld is now over 1,000 career points at 999 coming in. Prosper up in the air. Hayes had a good look, but couldn't get it to go home. You know, that was Westfeld's first basket after she missed her first 5 shots today. Citron looking for some help. Prosper stepped on the baseline. Turnover number 11 for Notre Dame. They average just over 15 per game on the season. You see Marshall's got the ice pack on the eye. Inside, 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Nothing coming easy for either team. Ball's not really moving, not getting any breaking down of defense. It's been 1 or 2 pass and contested jump shots on both ends.
Transferred out to Citron, who's guarded by Hayes. Tip pass. Another turnover for the Irish. Brown Turner, a little bit too ambitious. Taylor Tannenbaugh taking over with our studio folks. Is that Notre Dame Irish green she's got on over there? Ivory Latta, as usual, chilling. And of course, the one and only Kelly Gramlich, former great sharpshooter at Clemson. Looking forward to hearing from them at halftime, but great to have them here. They will be here all weekend. I don't know, Gramlich and Latta, great offensive players, and I don't know, I bet they're not loving the second quarter.
I'll bet not. We want to see the ball go through the net, don't we?
Yeah, both teams combining for only 10 points so far in the second quarter. Shot clock into single digits. Citron got plunked by Hayes, who put her arm up to defend her and instead fouled her. First one for Maddie. Former Mississippi State player, now in her second year with the Pack. So the shot clock goes back up to 20 for the Irish. Westbeld. Nice.
Yeah, that was a nice looking move by Maddie Westbeld. Created just enough space, soft touch.
Ties the ball game up, and now the Wolfpack fans getting a little restless. Boy, that's got to be a walk. And it is.
Good call, fam. Good
Thank
call.
you.
That was a very good call. Maddie Westbeld goes to work on the block and is really patient, is able to shoot over the outstretched contested hand of Jada Boyd.
So now the Irish have the opportunity to use up the rest of the clock in the half and take the lead. Westbeld over the Ebo screen, the first 3 of the game for either team. The Irish on top, their first lead since it was 8-6. They outscored NC State 11-4 in the second quarter, and the Irish lead it by 3. Citron with 11, pardon me, 8 for James to lead the way for NC State. Both teams shorthanded. No Diamond Johnson for the Pack. No Miles or Mabry for the Irish. Let's go.
Dominated inside against Syracuse yesterday. Get some more touches on the inside for Notre Dame. Take care of the ball on the season. You see what they averaged, 12 already here today. Give yourself a chance on the offensive end. Get that thing moving.
8 of NC State's 22 points have come off of Notre Dame turnovers. That second quarter, Notre Dame outscored them 11-4. 7 of those 11 points again in the second quarter came courtesy of Maddie Westbeld. Only 1 made 3 in the entire first half between the 2 teams, and that was Westbeld late in the second quarter.
That's going to change this half. It's going to be raining threes.
You feeling it?
Feeling it.
There's a 2 for Ebo. Let's go over to Angel Gray.
Westmore at halftime told me that he's not too thrilled about being out-rebounded 21-13 on the boards. He said, we have to have a different sense of aggression, a sense of urgency coming out in the second half. He also said that Notre Dame's man, when they switched to that, was giving them some issues. So he's wanting to see if he can have a few more ball screens at the top of the key involving Ebo.
Meanwhile, Sanaya Rivers with a terrific pass.
Yeah, it sure was. And Jada Boyd getting one of those paint buckets that we talked about. I think that in the Wolfpack, they have really good post players who make great decisions once they get the ball. Continue to try to get them some touches.
The 54 paint points yesterday for the Pack against Syracuse was a season high, and it looked like the Irish are thinking the same thing.
Hey, that is textbook, give it up, repost at lower position, Lauren Ebo going to work.
Missed 5 games, lower body injury, working her way back. Second leading rebounder on this team after Olivia Miles, who was out with a knee injury. Citron, 3-on-2. Rivers came out to contest a little late. Biggest lead of the game for the Irish.
You have to respect Sonia Citron's ability to shoot that mid-range pull-up, and she just hesitated just enough to get James to bite.
Right, because you know she can get you on either level.
Oh, the diagonal, yeah, it was a little late. A little bit late. See, that's the difference in getting a shot up and not.
Yep, leading to a turnover as well. Westmore going to make a couple of subs at the next whistle. KK Bransford getting a start today for Miles. Westbeld giving it up to Watson, who had to get, she was stuck under the basket and was able to maneuver for the shot. Watson's first points. Now here come the Pack fans. Trying to get their team back into this game. Hobby got the little roll. Second basket for Camille Hobby, who has already gotten her undergraduate degree at State. Citron got punked by James.
Sonia Citron in transition. You see just a slight hesitation to get James to bite. Gets the 2. And nice pass by Maddie Westbeld. And Kylie Watson understanding where she was on the floor. Does a good job of splitting the defenders and get the bucket.
Watson finished the regular season very strongly for the Irish as Citron goes to the line. Prosper back into the game. For Bransford. Citron, an 80% free throw shooter. Freshman of the year last year in the league. First team all-conference this year. 1 out of 2. Ebo couldn't handle it. Turner cut off by Ebo. Baldwin working against Ebo. Nothing doing. Westbeld head up. Prosper was going out of bounds, so she tried to tip it back to Watson. And then Watson just came blasting in to try to get the loose ball and mostly got Isaiah James.
Ball was deflected, and Kylie Watson just hustling in after it and colliding with Isaiah James. No, fortunately, Isaiah James was able to get up, and because that looked that looked nasty.
It's like a football play, and thank goodness Isaiah's foot wasn't planted, because that really could have been bad for her knee. And then she floats one in.
Yeah, she's got really great touch on her floater.
Had 10 points against Syracuse yesterday, 10 so far this afternoon. quarterfinal matchup. Winner gets Louisville in the semifinal tomorrow. Westbeld kicking it out around the horn. Watson lost the dribble and then got it blocked by Rivers. Shot clock way down. Chased down nicely by Watson, so they get an extra 20 seconds. Settle it down a little bit. Citron getting some instructions from Neil Ivey, who is a tremendous point guard herself. Off the rim. And then Citron fouled Rivers trying to get the ball.
Zaya James able to bounce back up from that collision. And then on the other end, she's been so good on that baseline. The floater, she's still a little bit shaken up.
That last foul, by the way, not on Citron, but the second on Watson.
And she had one of those yesterday, too, in the game against Syracuse.
That's a great point, yeah. That's a couple of hard knocks for her. At 6 now for James, who traveled. Tripped up a little bit on the way in. Cy James, a sophomore from Virginia Beach. At 20 at Virginia Tech towards the end of the regular season. Terrific game with a lot of her family on hand. Rivers is face guarding Citron. Little lob into Watson. Nice pass by Westbeld.
Yeah, and much better ball and player movement for the Irish in the second half. Multiple players are touching it. It's crossing the midline 2 and 3 times, and as a result, they're getting higher percentage looks.
Yeah, you made that point, especially the first quarter. Notre Dame, just a lot of one pass and shoot possessions. JBT, a little bit too strong. Watson was literally holding River Baldwin. That's her 3rd foul.
Well, this is really good execution on the screen and roll. Maddie Westbeld finds Kylie Watson for 2.
We're taking this moment to celebrate Jimmy V's incredible legacy of never giving up and the impact of the V Foundation over the last 3 decades. Join our celebration and support Jimmy V's dream of victory over cancer at v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes to cancer research. And of course, NC State, the school where Jim Valvano won that improbable national championship. It's been 30 years since that speech, and the good that that organization has done, the lives it has saved.
Absolutely. The lives that have been saved, the awareness that has been raised, and of course, Kay Yao as well, the NC State women's basketball coach and the Kay Yao Foundation, but just what an impact his legacy has been able to make.
Count it.
Fluid out of bounds execution. Sanaya Rivers right away inbounding, knowing she's getting it back. Elevates over Citron, able to get to 2.
Second on Citron, 7 points now for Rivers. 5-point advantage. Westbeld, good spot for her. She's looked really confident spotting up.
She sure has, and she's been in rhythm. And I think Notre Dame can continue to try to get her some touches off the move. And again, think about Maddie Westbeld, and she's a player who played the forward position, the post position early in her career, and now because of injuries, opportunity to play on the perimeter, and she's taken advantage of it.
Prosper with the rebound. Westbeld has the only 3s in this game by either team. Citron, oh my goodness.
Oh, that was nasty, Sonia Citron.
And reiterating, she's a sophomore.
I know. You know, the thing about Sonia Citron is she's just so steady. She's so consistent. you always know what you're going to get. I mean, she's really just scratching the surface. Quick little crossover, getting by one of the best defenders in the league in Sanaya Rivers and making it look easy.
Wow. But you're right. I mean, her expression rarely changes. Baldwin plunked by Ebo, and then she gives out the primal scream.
We talked about paint points, and there are a lot of different ways to get them. River Baldwin does a good job of pinning Lauren Ebo under the rim and getting the offensive rebound put back.
Westbeld gets the miss. Baldwin 1 of 4 today from the floor after hitting all 7 of her shots yesterday in their win over Syracuse. Bransford tried to lay it off to Ebo. Ball fake from James, contact but no foul. Citron, Prosper couldn't handle it. Turnover number 15 for the Irish.
Much better shooting in the third quarter.
Yeah, second quarter, NC State season low 4 points. Dame has hit 3 straight shots now, and an offensive foul on the moving screen. Lauren Ebo shook her head and said, yep, that's the call.
That's the only time I've seen players agree with the call, right?
Yeah, right.
Right there.
It was the other way.
Yeah, and it was. River Baldwin just continuing to move into Sonia Citron.
First one on Baldwin, Florida State transfer. Ebo and Baldwin have a nice little battle going on. Ebo can't do it. Baldwin with the screen gives Rivers just enough room. Timeout on the floor. NC State getting closer thanks to Rivers. They're down 6.
Make their run here, just a 2-possession game, and Sanaya Rivers trying to do everything she can to will her team to a win. And probably thinking about that film she watched on WNBA players, specifically Diamond DeShields. She told us, Steph, in a game we did earlier, that that's one player that she kind of gears her game towards, and she's been compared to as well. I looked it up, both are 6'1", have that athleticism to the rim, and also playmakers. I don't know how you feel about the comparison, but in her sophomore season, her ceiling so high.
Yeah, I think you're right. Her ceiling is high, and I would like to see her do a little bit more of that right there and hunt some shots offensively. I think she can be a really good offensive player as Maddie Westbeld continues to stay hot from 3.
Maddie Westbeld now with 3 threes. The only threes in the game. State is 0 for 8 from distance. Rivers elevating. Sanaya Rivers also the only North Carolina native on the Wolfpack team. She's from Wilmington, over on the coast, the Atlantic coast. And she didn't get a lot of playing time when she was down at South Carolina, won a national championship. Tough to crack. It's a pretty good lineup, right? It's not like she was sitting behind me.
Right, right.
But she's certainly getting her opportunity here at State.
Yeah, she absolutely is. And you know, the opportunity to come back to the state of North Carolina and to be a part of this NC State Wolfpack program.
Westbeld, no. Ebo kept it alive. Bransford gives Notre Dame a second chance. Inside a minute to go in the third quarter. Winner gets Louisville tomorrow in the semis. Citron, wide right. Rivers, here she goes. Guarded by Westfeld. And whistle on the play. Westfeld fouled her. That is the second. And the junior from Kettering, Ohio. Her sister played for Muffet-McGraw. And earlier in this game, Maddie went over the 1,000 career point mark.
They get a lot of those siblings that come through the programs, right?
I think it's a family deal when you go to Notre Dame. Rivers at the line. Now into double figures. Great player coming out. In fact, was a National Player of the Year according to USA Today. Made all of the All-American teams, including the McDonald's All-American game.
Wolfpack showing a little three-quarter court pressure.
Citron dribbled it out. Westfeld guarded by Boyd now. Sonia Citron just bowled her way in. Third foul on Sonia Citron.
Well, the step-up screen, and Citron just drives it right in between two players. And it looked to me like River Baldwin was still moving. And she wasn't moving backwards, she was moving sideways.
But that's one of Baldwin's specialties, drawing charges. Shot clock off. Rivers, still no threes for NC State. They're outscored by 4 points in that quarter. Notre Dame up 7 as we head to the fourth.
How hype can you be? How psyched can you feel? How loud can you get? Make some noise.
Yes, it is Champ Week indeed, and here at the ACC Women's Tournament, Louisville taking care of Wake Forest, who upset Florida State yesterday. Louisville will play the winner of this game in one semifinal tomorrow. In our night session, Virginia Tech and two-time Player of the Year Liz Kitley takes on Miami, and then it's North Carolina and Duke for the third time. Muffet-McGraw, her husband Matt, and yes, that young man, Marcus Freeman, the head football coach at Notre Dame, coming out here to support the team.
Nice of him to make the trip down to Greensboro.
Foul out on the perimeter on Prosper. Marcus Freeman taking over that program.
First Irish team foul of the period.
Matt still obviously heavily involved. We saw him all the time when Muffet was the head coach, and that'd be tough for Muffet still to watch. NC State trying to get something going offensively. Jakia Brown-Turner still. No threes. Lots of contact. Oh, Brown-Turner 0 for 5 from the floor. She only has a couple of points after 16 yesterday against Syracuse that included a couple of threes. Hayes ran into Citron. Citron playing with 3 personal fouls. Hayes just picked up her second. If you're just joining us, no Olivia Miles, out indefinitely. We expect some sort of an update next week. Screen left is Dara Mabry, who has been out since January 22nd, tore her ACL, also a tibia plateau fracture against Virginia. And not just one, but two huge losses.
2 huge losses, 2 primary ball handlers, 2 players who can play point guard, and now the Irish, they have a big lineup on the floor at all times, and players playing out of position, but everybody stepping up and contributing.
No Diamond Johnson, foot in the boot for NC State. They hope to have her back for the NCAA tournament. Maddie Westbeld playing on both ends of the floor. Got 13 points, right behind Citron's 18. 11 points for Rivers, 10 for James. The two players in double figures for the pack. Another collision. And if that's on Watson, yep. Foul number 4 on Kylie Watson, so Lauren Ebo has to come back in. The Notre Dame bench wafer thin with all of the injuries, and now foul trouble for Watson. Rivers shows you her ups. Westbeld coming away with it. Citron put the brakes on pretty quickly after she got close to Niel, and she's like, hold on. Citron, perfect.
First look that she's gotten without the ball in her hands. She's just such a tough cover because she can do so many things well, and her pace coming off of screens is so good. But I like this, her being able to give the ball up and somebody else initiate offense. And Maddie Westbeld sets a great screen. Citron creates space. Miles and Mabry like that.
And they're just like, yeah, those threes, I know a thing or two about threes.
Just a little bit, right?
That's the first 3 made by somebody not named Maddie Westbeld in this game. State 0 for 10 from distance. They normally make around 6 per game. Brown Turner, after being fouled by Bransford, gets them both. Well, Citron and Westbeld shooting well from the floor and getting most of the points, that combination. Notre Dame shooting 45%, the pack 36%. And Evo delivers down low. Citron with another assist. Is that a little Prosper action for you?
How about that block by Kassan Prosper? Are you kidding me? Just when you think Sanaya Rivers has an easy lane to the rim, Prosper says, no thank you.
Swats it out of bounds. Prosper, both of her family, or both of her parents, played collegiately at Concordia University in her hometown of Montreal. Rivers with the basket. 10-point deficit, 7.5 to go. Citron, gotta be careful. They're trying to draw charges on her. Remember, Sonia is playing with 3.
I mean, this is just a heck of an individual effort by Prosper, using her length. Outstretched hand, look at that.
And we talked to Niel Ivey last week, and she's so excited about Prosper. Says that she's got kind of like a coach's dream again. Came out, she should still be in high school. Film junkie, wants to learn, takes instruction, very coachable, and you can see that athletically. Wait till she grows up.
Yeah, of course, and Niel Ivey said it was such a blessing at the time that she came, especially Dara Mabry lost not soon after that. Gives him another body, another perimeter player, terrific individual defender.
6'2" freshman. Ball goes over to the Irish as Boyd goes out of bounds. And the fans, Pack fans, get a little surly right now with their team down 12.
Well, it's been a physical game, you know, but it's been able to be physical on both sides. It's certainly, it's tournament time. It's March, Pam.
Almost a turnover. It looks like Jada Boyd might have turned her ankle a little bit, but she gets up. Ebo into Citron, who got fouled by Rivers. Yeah, much better ball movement by Notre Dame in the second half. Second foul on Rivers. James coming in now for Hayes. Citron heads back to the free throw line, where she is 4 for 5. A reminder to fans to download the ACC 3-Point Challenge app presented by New York Life to help benefit the local Boys and Girls Club. Score points for your school. After the tournament, local Boys and Girls Club will receive a donation from New York Life based on their affiliated ACC team's final ranking. 14-point advantage is the largest lead of the game for the Irish. Hobby took steps. Good defense by Ebo. Twelfth turnover for Westmore's team. NC State projected to be a 7 seed by Charlie Cream. Selection Sunday, a week from Sunday coming up. He's got Notre Dame as a 3. Which means they would host. Always big. Shot clock at 5. It's Citron time. Ebo had it taken away by James. Doesn't have numbers, but she's going to challenge Westbell. Backs off. And a foul called as Boyd gathered the ball in the lane. Second on Bransford. 4 team fouls against the Irish. The next one will send the Pack to the line.
Wolfpack have not been able to get many shot opportunities here in the fourth quarter. Everything is highly contested. The Irish continue changing up their defenses, playing in the 2-3, playing in the man-to-man. There's Jakia Brown Turner getting the 3.
The first 3 of the game for NC State. They had missed their first 10. And that gets the crowd going a little bit. Watson's going to come back in with 4 fouls for the Irish. Westbell. Foul on Notre Dame.
Miscommunication in the zone in the half court. Jakia Brown Turner able to capitalize.
State well below their average. Sorry, Steph.
And this is big, Pam, right now. NC State's having trouble scoring the basketball in the fourth quarter, and now they're at the foul line in the penalty for the rest of the game. So if I'm NC State, I'm looking to continue to put pressure on this defense, attack, force rotations, get high percentage looks, get opportunities at the foul line.
It's the best of both worlds. You can score with the clock stopped. James just a 65% free throw shooter on the season. Got them both. And big time pressure on Bransford. You couldn't even hear the whistle because the crowd is so loud.
NC State looking to try to turn up the pressure, and Jada Boyd just a little over aggressive.
Citron over to Bransford.
This second half, Notre Dame much more like the Fighting Irish. 14 assists in the ball game, and coming out of halftime, 9 assists to 4 turnovers. In the first half, Pam, it was 5 to 12.
Yeah.
So moving the basketball more, sharing the basketball, and as a result, getting better looks.
A timeout with Notre Dame up 11. The Ally ACC Women's Tournament is brought to you by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. We'll play Louisville in tomorrow's semifinal. Haley Van Lith, 17 points alone in the first quarter as they beat Wake Forest 74 to 48. 2 more games coming your way today on the ACC network in the quarters. If Notre Dame hangs on to this lead, they're going to play Louisville for the 3rd time in about a 2.5-week span, and those first 2 games were beauties.
They sure were. Notre Dame winning both games by a total of 5 points.
This is the 6th time Notre Dame has come into this tournament as the #1 seed, and the other 5 times, they won it. First 4 years they were in the league, and then again in 2019, #1 seed, thanks to their win over Louisville, and Duke's loss to North Carolina on Sunday. And they have played a really good second half. Everything coming difficult for State on the offensive end. JVT with another 3. Her second. And then the steal, Boyd scores. Miguel Ivey decided not to take a timeout. Watson and got clobbered by James. That's 5 quick points for State.
NC State had a couple opportunities for a ball reversal, didn't get it, but they got it right on time for Jakia Brown-Turner to knock down the 3, and then defensively continuing with this pressure. Sanaya Rivers gets the deflection, the steal, and the putback for Jada Boyd.
The foul on James puts Watson on the line as Westmore talks to Jakia Brown-Turner, his only returning starter from last year's team. Huge board for Westbeld.
Sure was. Maddie Westbeld, what a job to get in position to get that offensive rebound.
Her 8th, making her 9th rebound. Watson knocked away by Collins. 2-on-1. They save it for Rivers. Citron couldn't handle it. Boyd missed the first time. The second one won't go in, and Maddie Westbeld got another rebound, and a foul has been called on NC State. Boy, Westbeld just now with 10 rebounds on the day. James has picked up another foul. She's got 4.
And you saw the frustration on Jada Boyd's face. She wants that one back. Had a couple opportunities at the rim.
So Westbeld with a double-double today, 13 points and 10 rebounds. Now at the free throw line. Both teams in the bonus.
I cannot say enough of how Olivia Miles is not just a vocal leader with her team on the floor, but on the sidelines as well. To mention, assistant coach Sherelle Allen is not with Notre Dame due to personal reasons. So Olivia Miles is sitting in that assistant coach chair, being vocal and trying to do everything she can from the sidelines to give this team energy.
Sitting right next to Michaela Mabry. She's actually been standing a lot over there on the bench along with Dara Mabry. the two injured stars for this team. Collins stuffed by Watson. Irish ball. And again, Olivia Miles out indefinitely. The Irish not getting more specific than that. And they only have 2 good legs between them, but they're still getting up and hopping around and celebrating.
You know, and that's your 2 vocal leaders. And Neil Ivey talked about when Dara Mabry went down, how Olivia Miles had to step up from a leadership standpoint. She couldn't rely on Mabry on the floor anymore. And now Olivia Miles is out, and that's got to be Sonia Citron, Maddie Westbeld, 2 of your more experienced players in this system on the floor.
Citron, that's off the mark. James. Watson was able to knock it away.
Great hustle by Kylie Watson. I mean, just when you think NC State may have an opportunity in transition, what a hustle play by Watson.
State retains possession with 26 seconds to shoot.
Get an opportunity now for the Irish to get your defense set.
Brown Turner had a good 4th quarter. Couple of 3s and now that 2. Westbeld brings it over the timeline. Prosper's going to wait for Citron. Sonia Citron coming off a season-high 27 in the win at Louisville last week, turning it up when Miles got hurt in the 2nd quarter, and she's got 23 today. Rivers commits the foul.
Sonia Citron on the line for the Irish. 2 shots.
Out of 2 on that trip. A sophomore from Eastchester, New York. That's tipped, leads to a turnover.
That's a dangerous place to give KK Bransford the ball.
Boy, wasn't it?
Neil Ivey didn't like what that was looking like, so wanted that timeout.
We'll take one as well and be back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Greensboro, where Notre Dame is holding on to an 8-point advantage. Just a little over a minute and a half left to go in the 2nd of 4 quarterfinals. Pam Ward, Stephanie White, and it is Champ Week here. The ACC Championship will be Sunday at 1 Eastern Time on ESPN, followed by the SEC. We'll be in Minneapolis for the Big Ten. Caitlin Clark, Sunday at 5 Eastern Time.
They got a couple of games first.
I know. It's just so much fun to watch her play. Then the Pac-12, the Big 12, Angel Gray with us as well. Maddie Westbeld and Sonia Citron really coming up huge with no Olivia Miles today. No Diamond Johnson for NC State. They're going to rest her until the NCAA tournament. Westbeld with a double-double today. Her 3rd of the season. Clock right now is Notre Dame's best friend. Brown Turner with the foul with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 2nd one on her. Both teams in the bonus. Brown Turner with 10 points here in the 4th quarter, but we're running out of time. Got them both. Citron has backed up last week's 27-point game with 26 today.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. And she's doing this while being the primary ball handler for this team. A lot on her shoulders. She's unfazed. doesn't seem to be rattled by much of anything.
Nice by James. 14 points for her. Big time pressure. They need to get the ball. Kind of ball handler by committee for Notre Dame. Rivers took it away, and then a subsequent foul on Bransford.
Well, you certainly don't want to foul right now if you're the Irish. Give NC State opportunity to score with no time running off the clock. And you think about this as sort of, you know, an easy into game for the Irish, a team in NC State that doesn't usually press a lot, don't turn people over a lot, can do this ball handling by committee. But as they continue to face different types of teams, how will they be able to handle consistent pressure? 94 feet in the half court, get into offense, be playmakers for yourself and other people.
Another timeout in Greensboro. 32nd timeout. Let's take a look at our Bojangles' big bow moment of tonight's game. Sonia Citron, they needed her to have a good game, and she did.
She sure did, and she was absolutely huge, not just big, for Notre Dame. I mean, scoring in a lot of different ways, particularly early in the ball game, giving Notre Dame some easy buckets, and then I felt like did a much better job of managing her team in the second half. Multiple players touched the ball, it got moving a little bit more assists, less turnovers, and just being that constant, consistent presence on the floor.
1 point behind her season high of 27, which she had at Louisville on Sunday when Miles went out of the game. They are looking more and more like they will be playing Louisville for the third time in the semis tomorrow. Citron also has 5 assists and 8 rebounds.
I'm not sure why NC State's not fouling.
Now Wes Moore is saying, come on out and foul her, but it took a while.
I think he wanted a double team to try to get a quick maybe trap and steal out of a trap, and whoever was supposed to come didn't make it.
Okay, so that ultimately resulted in the foul on Rivers.
And way too much time running off the clock.
Just 38.9 seconds left to go, and Citron back at a familiar spot. Ties her season high. James able to recover. Rebound, good effort by Hayes to try to get to it. And another whistle against the Irish. And that will foul out Kylie Watson. So Ebo will come in for her. Watson 5 points and a rebound this afternoon. So Ebo comes back in. Madison Hayes, the Mississippi State transfer. Their first trip to the line this afternoon. It's a both. Notre Dame takes the timeout with 28 seconds left. 2 more basketball games for you this afternoon on the ACC network. And there is the number 3 seed Virginia Tech Hokies. Liz Kitley, back-to-back ACC Player of the Year. Saw Kayla King coming in, and I don't see her there. One of your favorites, right? Georgia Amore?
Absolutely, one of my favorite point guards in the conference, in the country. And the improvement that she's had from a year ago, just from a confidence standpoint, offensively, has been fun to see.
And they will be playing Miami in our nightcap this evening. First, at 6 Eastern time, it's Duke, North Carolina. Carolina has beaten Duke twice this year. And NC State, 10 straight wins. Remember, they are the 3-time defending champs in this tournament, have not lost in this tournament since 2019.
And again, too much time running off the clock. No sense of urgency right now for the Wolfpack.
JVT with the foul. KK Bransford, ACC All-Freshman, was the freshman of the week in the last season, the last week of the season, pardon me. She also helped pick up the slack in the win at Louisville, 14 points. Wes Moore takes the timeout. So the teams we're going to see tomorrow, barring a big comeback, will be Notre Dame and Louisville in the semis. They played last Sunday in a good one.
76 all. Notre Dame a chance to win it. Citron will inbound. Miles for the win. Got it to go! Olivia Miles, a stone cold killer. A thrilling buzzer-beating victory for Notre Dame.
That wasn't last Sunday. That was a couple of weeks. The first time they played, and it was in overtime when Olivia Miles hit the 3 to win that game. And then last week when Miles went out late in the second quarter, Notre Dame came from behind to win at Louisville. Now we get them. Now they're going to get them for the 3rd time. And that's the way it is shaping up. We're going to go ahead and push it through. That will be at noon Eastern time tomorrow on the ACC network. Virginia Tech, Miami, Duke, North Carolina. The winners will play after that in the other semi.
So Tiara Cruz comes over and tells us that the timeout hasn't officially been granted yet. There is a potentially unobserved contact that they're looking at. Lauren Ebo shoving the back of Mimi Collins. And if that's the case, I mean, again, the Irish, just not smart plays, defensively fouling, and this unnecessary contact on that play as well. Each of these opportunities for the Wolfpack to score with no time running off the clock.
That is Rod Creech. Rod Creech along with Tiara Cruz, Lisa Green, the 3rd member of the officiating crew this afternoon.
I don't know if you're looking at it to be an unobserved intentional foul. I don't know that you can call that.
NC State had a 4-point lead after 1 in this. As we take a look at it again, then only scored 4 points in the second quarter when the game turned. Now the officials are discussing it. I'll take this time to thank Seth Miller, our producer, Matt Wilson, our director, Anthony Abrahams, perhaps the best. Everything.
We have an intentional foul on 33 for Notre Dame. It would be 2 shots for North Carolina State and then a ball on side out.
Well, that is so big. And you just want the game like to run out the string, right? Get out of here with the W.
So, yeah, it's just not a smart play.
No. So you get 2 free throws and the ball. Potential for a 4 or 5 point play. Mimi Collins' first point of the game. Turner kicks it out to Rivers.
You don't have to settle. You're in the penalty. Go to the rim.
Not a great shot, and it took a lot of time.
And again, like, you don't have to settle. Notre Dame has shown that they will foul you if you go to the rim, put some pressure on it.
Isaiah James has just fouled out of the game for State. 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists.
You look at just this game situations, and double digits on the clock. You've got plenty of timeouts. You just want to get a quick score. If you can get an opportunity to get a layup, get a foul, or get a drive and kick for a shot, then you foul and you got timeouts to move the ball.
Citron, another 1 for 2 at the line. Trip. She gets a new season high in scoring, and the Fighting Irish hold on to beat NC State 66-60. The Yale Ivies club moving on to the semifinals. Well, they will play Louisville for the 3rd time this season. Citron, 28 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Maddie Westbeld with the double-double. 14 points apiece for Rivers and James for the Pack.
Certainly not an easy road, but this Fighting Irish team has showed resilience all season long, and to be able to continue to step up in moments since Citron, Westbeld, making big plays and carrying this team.
Notre Dame with the victory today, even though they didn't get a single field goal in the last 5 minutes of the 4th quarter. They got quite a few at the free throw line, and the 1 and the 4 seed will meet for the 3rd time tomorrow at noon Eastern. The first 2 were a lot of fun, and we expect that tomorrow. Virginia Tech, Miami coming up after Duke and North Carolina here on the ACC network. The final will be 1 Eastern time Sunday on ESPN. And NC State falls to 20-11 on the season. Again, Charlie Cream projects them to be a number 7 seed, does not anticipate that they will have the opportunity to host in the 1st and 2nd rounds after getting to the Elite 8 and losing in double overtime, that heartbreaker to UConn last year. But boy, Sonia Citron, just a sophomore, so much expected, so much needed, and she delivered and then some. And she is over here with Angel Gray.
Barely a smile on her face, really. Not much sweat on your forehead either, but when you're looking at how you guys win this game without Olivia Miles, Coach told me at halftime, you guys were without your heartbeat, but you gave this team life today. In what ways do you think it was important for you guys to really step up today?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with Olivia out today, everyone has to step up. She's a big part of our team, and losing her today was, I mean, it's tough, and we just have to figure out how to play without her. And I think that my team stepped up, and everyone individually just gave their best, and we got the outcome we wanted.
And you made some history yourself as well. You were the first player since Arike Agumbawale to have back-to-back games with 25 points or more. When you're looking at your impact, what was your mindset coming into this game after the challenge that Coach Niele Ivey gave you before the Louisville game?
I mean, I know my team needs me, and I'm going to try to contribute in any way I can. And yeah, I mean, I guess being the point guard since Liv is out, I'm definitely still learning a lot. But I have a lot of help from my teammates and my coaches. Yeah, and I'm trying to help my team as best as I can.
I love that. Being done by committee at halftime, you guys had only 4 assists. You finished with 14. What was the message then, and what did you see that you guys needed to adjust in order to get to that number?
Yeah, I mean, we just had to calm down. I know a bunch of us were nervous, so it was just, I mean, we're playing basketball. We know how to do that. So just calm down, play our game. We knew NC State was really packing the paint and sitting off. So we had to stop just driving and taking charges. Just pull up, spread the floor, and yeah.
Thanks so much for your time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Yes, Sonia Citron certainly does know how to play basketball. Another season high in scoring, back-to-back for her. They will play Louisville tomorrow as Notre Dame takes it by the final of 66-60. For Stephanie White and Angel Gray, I'm Pam Ward as we say so long for now. Coming up next, ACC PM.